The Anunnaki encounter. The Anunnaki. Their name whispers through the winds of history, steeped in mystery and legend. In the ancient texts of the Sumerians, the first known civilization of Mesopotamia, the Anunnaki were revered as powerful deities or beings from the stars. Some described them as gods who shaped humanity, bestowing knowledge and order. Others whispered they were ancient extraterrestrial visitors, wielding advanced technology beyond comprehension. For thousands of years, their story has been passed down in myths and theories. Were they the architects of humanity, guiding us from primitive life to civilization? Or were they simply visitors who left behind remnants of their existence, the enigmatic structures, cryptic carvings, and legends of divine rulers? To many, the Anunnaki remain a riddle. To me, they are no longer a myth. I am Juma, a simple boy from the shores of Lake Turkana, and I will tell you the story of the night I met them. It began like any other evening in my village. Or so I thought. My name is Juma, and I am from a small village near Lake Turkana in Kenya. It all started one evening when the sky turned a strange color, bright orange, almost like it was on fire. I had seen sunsets before, but this was different. The air felt heavy, and the birds were silent. Even the goats refused to move. I was out in the fields checking traps I had set for rabbits. It was almost dark, and I knew I had to hurry back home. But as I bent down to check one of the traps, I heard a low humming sound. It wasn't like a bird or an insect. It was deeper, like the earth itself was groaning. At first, I thought it was my imagination. Maybe I was tired. But then, the sound grew louder. The ground beneath my feet began to tremble. I stood up, my heart pounding, and looked around. That's when I saw it, a massive glowing object descending from the sky. It was shaped like a disc, and it sparkled like it was made of molten gold. I wanted to run, but my legs refused to move. The object landed silently in the clearing not far from me. It didn't make a sound when it touched the ground, which was strange because it looked so heavy. The humming stopped, and everything went still. No wind. No insects. Just silence. Suddenly, the door on the side of the object slid open. A tall figure stepped out. It wasn't human, I could tell that much right away. Its skin was smooth and shone like polished silver. Its eyes were large, glowing a soft blue, and it was something that looked like a robe made of light. I tried to hide behind a bush, but the creature turned its head and looked straight at me. It didn't speak, but I felt a voice in my mind. It wasn't words exactly, more like emotions, curiosity, calm, and something else I couldn't understand. I froze, unable to move or think. The creature raised one long, slender hand, and a beam of light shot out from a device it was holding. The light wrapped around me like a cocoon, lifting me off the ground. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. My body floated toward the object. The closer I got, the more I felt warm. It wasn't unpleasant, but it was strange, like the sun was shining from inside me. Inside the ship, the air was cool and smelled like rain. The walls glowed softly, and everything looked alive, like it was breathing. There were more of them inside, 3, maybe 4. They were taller than the first one, and their eyes seemed to glow brighter. One of them stepped forward and placed its hand on my chest. I felt a rush of images and sounds in my mind, stars exploding, rivers flowing, strange cities made of crystal. It was like I was seeing their entire history in a single moment. Then, the first one, the one who had found me, spoke. Not with its mouth, but directly into my mind. It said, "We are the Anunnaki. Do not fear. We have watched your world for thousands of your years." I wanted to ask them why they were here, but before I could think of how to ask, they answered. "Your world is changing. Soon, things will not be as they are. You must prepare." Prepare for what? I thought. The answer came as more images, a great storm, mountains crumbling, fire raining from the sky. And then, a man standing in the middle of it all. I couldn't see his face, but I knew he was important. Somehow, I knew I was connected to him. Before I could ask more, the first Anunnaki touched my forehead. A bright light filled my eyes and I felt myself falling. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in the field, lying on the ground. The sky was dark and the stars were out. The ship was gone. I ran home as fast as I could, my heart racing. When I told my family, they didn't believe me. They said I must have fallen asleep and dreamed it. But I know what I saw. And every night since, I've had the same dream, the glowing ship, the tall beings, and the warning. Something is coming. I don't know when, but I know it will change everything. And I'll be ready.